Imtiaz Dharker, poet, documentary filmmaker, and artist. A phenomenal talent with a polymathic sensibility. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Imtiaz Dharker.
Thank you. Thank you, Nima, and thank you for inviting me to be here at this lovely festival. When I began on this theme of the haunting, I thought I'd write one poem, but I began and one came after the other, and I wrote, I think it was 14, and haven't really stopped, so there will be more poems to come later, but I'll start with the ones I have. A haunting. The last step. That was where I saw you first, on the last step of the well, wet from bathing. Drops of water fell in an arc from your hair, down your back, trickling into the cloth tied tight at your hips. My lips went dry. My thirst began there and never stopped. Did you feel how I watched and willed you to turn? How I waited on the steps day after day for you to pass, for the light on your body, the sight of you sliding into the water, into my heart. My heart hidden, I learned the art of making you up, making something of nothing, like someone drunk and staggering just from looking at the wine glass, the wine forbidden. But I could swear you lifted your head for the scent of blossoms in my hair. Kneeling at the brink, I felt you near and wondered if you would dare speak. You left. Your eyes were elsewhere. You must have heard when I went the hiss of scandal. You must have asked if I was pushed or missed a step or went willingly over the edge. You must have wondered what I felt when I fell. I sank and sank in the bottomless well, like falling into a night with no stars, down the shaft of black, the finger that points out the way to hell. Not alone, not the first. We are too many to count, too drowned to tell all the lost girls. Gone from the fields of sugar cane that stroked our waists and spoke sweet words, from the houses that held us too tight and whispered behind our backs, to this open mouth with its dangerous breath. You never come back to the step where I lie in wait, but other boys do, wrapping wet cloth around their waists, laughing with their heads thrown back, teeth white in the dark, the ones who could have been you. I reach out to stroke that lovely dip they have between haunch and hip, the silk of their skin that should have been yours, and feel them recoil, shivering, as if they have been touched by knowing too much, by death. When I send a token, my garland of jasmine and a wisp of my hair, they pull back aghast at the ring of white afloat on black, as if they can smell, braided into the scent of desire, the stench of loss, as if they have felt the caress of a ghost. Braided into the poems about the girl at the stepped well, which was really a well in Old Delhi, a haunted well. I worked in the theme of Persephone and the pomegranate seeds. If you remember, she ate 6 seeds, which meant that she was consigned to 6 months in the underworld. 6 pomegranate seeds. They burst on my tongue, those seeds, when I ate them, one by one. The taste of the world I remembered, the color of gardens, juice overflowing, before I threw away the sun. arc. As I fell, everything fell out of my mind. The spark left my eyes, light drained away, and I became a shell, beautiful, like something that could be filled with stories, tall tales, anything worth imagining. Words are the pearl. Dive for them, and we become real. Do you hear my luster on the line? Even with all its color washed away, wet cloths slapped on stone, thread beaten too thin, my voice is still there, an arc of drops hung in the air, shining. Warning. The pomegranate gave me warning signs, with its bitter rind, its thorny crown. But I broke in through its unwelcoming skin, tore away the thin membrane to loot the seeds within. On my tongue, they exploded like nothing I have ever known. On my lips, the stain remains. Even knowing what it means, I would do it all again. Six rings. The phone rings 6 times. You rarely answer the landline, but tonight you pick up. Silence, crackling. Then my thin voice speaks from a drowning world. Others tune in, taking advantage of the opening, crying, wailing against the wall of white sound, sending messages for the people they still love, the ones they left behind. Tell my husband where to find the thing I hid in the cupboard, top left shelf. Tell my daughter to be kind. Tell my mother I didn't mean it. Tell my lover I didn't really mind. You hear something, but far, like a ghost with no throat, like a shadow of words underwater. You never spoke to me, but did you see? I wanted to tell you something, but something tied my tongue. This is me calling. 60 seconds. Did you think I was gone? You were wrong. I crossed back out of the water in that 1 minute of black when a cloud passed the moon and the moon looked away. I bribed the gatekeeper with 6 silver rings. I'm here in this room, and I have plotted to keep you. Round your bed I draw a ring, surround you with growing things, sheaves of wheat and maize, sprouting seeds. I break a coconut, and inside I find another moon. In your dreams I sleep with you, breathing out when you breathe out, breathing in when you breathe in, stitching the night, stitching the air, stitching you in to spring. Sticks. I make you again out of sticks and string, bind you close and fix your face with a stolen spider's web. Inside your head, I cage a small blue egg, and where your heart should be, I tie a lump of lead. This is how you live in my bed, and I in yours. She will never know, except that one night you will call my name, and your hand will find itself between my shadow legs. Too late to stop. You will cheat her with me. I will cheat death with art, with artifice. My ghost voice whispering in your ear, my spider words on your lips, like this. Makeshift. Remember making a phone of your own? 2 tin cans with a string knotted in, stretched tight, the listener out of sight. When you spoke, the other could feel the vibration through the air, your voice on a line. My heart is a cave in a cup. If you hold it up to your ear, you can hear it thrumming through a piece of string. Beak. I'm trying to take this beak out of my heart, this thing that troubles me with its demented singing, like the flame of the forest burning in a tree in that saturated world. You stop, as if you have heard, and say, listen, listen to that koel calling. Figs. It was loaded against me, the thing with the seeds. They were there, just inside the skin, asking to be eaten. 6 pomegranate seeds. 6 months in the light. 6 having sex in the dark with a God I don't want. I can't wait to get out to the shops, the hot bazaar, the baskets of peaches. I never know if my voice reaches you, but I imagine you stopping to look at your phone, checking missed calls, caller unknown. Then you go on, out of a station, crossing a road, my voice drowned in the sound of car horns and the light of all those unfixed living things exploding. Hellraiser. Screeching out of the water, screaming over the line, I will be bawdy, tawdry, tough, laugh from the belly when the holy men pass. I am fearless, striding back up the steps into broad daylight. Take off the white cloth and fly like a kite from the rooftops, and to hell with the watchers, the talkers, the gossips, the shame peddlers. I am out of their hands, blown out of their sight. The haunting of words. What are these words for? What are they for? Script in every language, Spanish, Chinese, Arabic, running this way or that, from right to left, from left to right. What right do they have to be here, unless they force you to listen to the bird in your heart and hear the world as if it is new? I'm standing at the end of the line, looking back at you and past you to white. Words are nothing but gravestones unless they haunt your day and night. If you do not read the pulse in my wrist, I might as well be gone. Why put these marks on paper at all if they do not twist like a knife, prick like a thorn, buzz like a hive? What use unless they wire me alive? I follow you down. And the I in this poem becomes the poet. I follow you down. Even if you have no name, I will follow you down the steps of the well, past the storied arches to where the stones are green with longing and the water wants us in. You came to the edge and looked down. The boys just over your shoulder, the boys over your shoulder, just watching. No wrong was done. I startle a bird, my feet winged with fright, the light too long gone. My hand in the water is all the drowned girls. You take it, a flight of pale fingers, twined so mine are yours, yours mine, and we are an orchard blossoming under water skin. And the last one in the series, Haunted. Just Outside my line of sight, the world cracks. A cloth flicks and becomes bricks in a wall. All the glass splinters to moonlight. At my shoulder, the air flinches as if wounded with wings. As I turn to still water. And here on the line, a sound spun so fine it shines like a blade. Is that you? Don't slide away. If we follow the trail of blood-red seeds, they may lead us to see the words we were trying to say. They may cause spring. If this is haunting, let me be haunted forever. Stay.